Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. Dynamic change in the history of Eternum last night as the Marauders of PvP Dodgers managed to make flagfall in Brightwood, claiming the Deep Forest as their own. KOTT News caught up with company leadership to ask them about the outcome. Congratulations on your victory here tonight, here in Brightwood, pushing them back. How do you feel it went out there tonight?
I think it went really well. It was a quick war. We had a new shot caller who did an absolutely amazing job for us tonight. I'm really thankful. I just wanted to say thank you to S Philadelphia Bro and Axe Body Wash Bar, Irish Spring Bar, for coming out, as well as Dr. Homie and Toshiyuki and all of our other HBM friends like Ace Native and Honest. We really appreciate you guys coming out and playing with us. I also want to shout out to Botched Group, Whip Whirl and Whirl Whip, and everyone else. They do such a good job for us. All of our mercs, we love them very much. I also want to say GG's to Eviction Notice. That I'm really glad that Purple has some A-tier players playing for them. It's a fun war. I know our result tonight was probably not what they wanted, but they do a good job. They have a very strong roster, and we're looking forward to more wars with them, especially with Rue. Just want to shout out Rue. She's an old friend of mine from Nino Kuni. I think she does a great job healing. It's always fun playing with you, Rue, and I hope you get those carrots, girl.
Later in Cutlass Keys, interviews had to be delayed as civic leaders had to immediately respond to the approaching Turkalon. As the beast was being put down, we were able to speak with company leadership about tonight's events. Congratulations on your victory here tonight in Cutlass Keys. No time to celebrate as we go out and take care of Turkalon out in the field. Any responses? Can you talk about what's going on out here?
Oh my god, the horror!
Dude, that war was a lot of fun, man. It was one of our first wars coming back. We had a lot of fun in that war. That war was amazing.
Turning to the weather, and once again, the sun will rise in the morning and set at night, keeping corruption at bay all day long. But once more after sunset and the temperatures begin to drop, corrupted invasion forces will rise up and strike at 30% of the island. No submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, but we'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night as peace persisted throughout the evening. KOTT News crews took the opportunity to explore the brimstone and acid pools southwest of New Corsica. Initial investigation revealed Azov-powered technology near the entrance to the acidic area. Deeper investigation revealed an unusual crystalline formation in the center of the pools. Interacting with the object brought multiple denizens of the acid pools to its defense, but KOTT News crews were able to defeat the waves of enemies and complete our investigation in the desert. KOTT News crews will bring you more on this story as it develops. Quickly to the weather, and once again, the sun up, the sun over, the sun down, before the polar pattern emerges yet again in Brightwood and Cutlass Keys. 4 more roster submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. Up first, the Syndicate Podiatrists of Come, Honor Feet, assail the Zealots of Order of Chaos for control of First Light and the flow of the spice. These syndicate physicians strike at the hyssop fields and spice production facilities of the Southern Peninsula, seeking to eliminate Azov travel and increase their medical practice. The reigning spice lords of Order of Chaos continue to provide their residents with reasons to live there. Now they have to hold off any malpracticing physicians coming to steal it. Then, the syndicate forces of House Atreides assault the Marauders of CB4 for the primary oil reserves of Weaver's Fen. House Atreides make their first move on the island, seeking to secure land from which to serve as a staging grounds for future ambitions. Gusto and the boys aren't gonna like someone rolling up into their block, but they can respect an all-out RP battle between two committed companies. Later, the syndicate forces of Rock Bottom Boys attack the Marauders of Camelot Dodgers for control of the medicinal hot springs and resort destination of Ebonscale. The rock bottom boys of the syndicate feel like there is only opportunity to rise up from the depths of third place on the territory control list. But in order to maintain their plush lifestyle, the Camelot Dodgers stand ready in the fort to defend the bamboo forest preserves and retain the region. After that, the Marauders of Norivana assault the vault of the Covenant forces of Here Be Monsters for control of the financial capital of Windsward. Norivana forces trying to make a big splash on the island and make a new name for themselves by attempting to capture the funding needed to maintain their armies. Out of an abundance of concern for corporate espionage, the security forces of Here Be Monsters have already changed the combinations to the locks and doubled patrols to stop any break-in attempt. Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. Dynamic change in the history of Eternum last night as the Marauders of Norivana managed to assault the vault and capture the financial capital of Windsward. KOTT News were on the scene with Governor Ramgam immediately following the fight. Congratulations on your victory here in Winsford, successfully capturing the vault and becoming the new security guards of the capital's financial interests. How does it feel, and how do you think it went out there?
John, it feels really good. It feels really good, John. That was an insane fight by HBM as always. I'm really glad they're on the server. They make amazing competition.
Is there anybody in particular on your team that you might want to highlight tonight?
I have a list. First off, shout out Dawn Guard guys. Shout out Schmeckelmeister for shot calling. Shout out Bamboo Banana. Shout out all the other AoE healers. Shout out Proud Munch. Shout out Sape. Shout out 604. Shout out Places CMC coming back. Shout out Nori for being the best the strat giver. Shout out Area 52. Shout out everyone. Holy, there's too many people to list. Shout out Jax. I miss him. He comes home from England soon. I miss him.
Reporting on the earlier outcomes, starting in First Light, where we spoke with Order of Chaos Press Secretary. Congratulations on your victory here in First Light, keeping yourselves in position as Spice Lords yet again. Would you care to comment on how the fight went?
Yeah, this was another good one. There were familiar faces on the battlefield again, although some of the faces that are fighting alongside me today, I'm used to seeing on the other side of the battlefield. And then some of our enemies today, I remember them being Covenant.
Yeah, there's a lot of people coming to the science side of things lately, trying to use reason to discover the secrets of the island. Is there anybody whose efforts out there you might want to highlight?
You know, I think he doesn't get to do as many of these interviews as he'd like, but Lord puts in a lot of work into these wars. I think he goes out there and he picks some fights so we start them, and then he comes over here and he fills the roster so we can fight them. And so he's not here to do this interview because of all the work he does. So I think shout out to Lord.
In Weaver's Fen, Gusto and the boys retain control of the Peat Moss Bog. We asked them about tonight's roleplay experience. Congratulations on your victory here in Weaver's Fen. They got through the gate, but no further. The flag stands tall. How do you feel it went out there?
It went great, John, honestly. Everyone we had were a bunch of soldiers. We really appreciate it. Role players will always prevail. Just remember that.
Anybody whose role-playing efforts you would like to highlight?
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to HBM. You know, those guys came through. They helped us out in the pinch. It's nice to see them. Usually, probably the last month and a half, it's been yellow versus green. So it's really nice to see purple come in the mix, and then we can actually, you know, be friends again with yellow and have a good time out there. Because those guys are a bunch of good guys, and we like to war with them.
Shout out to our homies in Dodgers as well.
Hell yeah. Ben, Hungs, you guys are always welcome on wars. Bunch of G's.
A nail-biter in Ebonscale inside the fort for the entire second half, but Camelot Dodgers won out and granted us a post-match interview. Yeah, a bit of a nail biter. They got in the gates about, 15, 17 minutes left to go, but you held them off. I only
Yep.
saw one real strong
Yep.
push, so good job there.
They had a couple really strong pushes, John. We were trying out a lot of people that are newer to the war scene in this war, but overall it was a really fun war.
Excellent. Anybody whose efforts out there you might want to highlight?
Yeah, I want to highlight Plantry's efforts. He did a really good job locking down a gate today in the war. I also want to shout out to Huang the Zong. He's the governor of a company. He has COVID, and his voice is about as raspy as a dirty old gecko. And he still came in. He troopered through for us, and he shot called the war. I'll tell you, and I don't want you to cut this out, Huang, that if something happens to you, I'm gonna take all the gold and run, Huang. And that's just, I'm just keeping it $150 with you. I need better gear. I want better gear. I was thinking about putting together a Dex kit. I was thinking about maybe getting a little place to retire up in Brimstone Sands.
Checking in on the one-day Doppler radar forecast, and we can see it's going to shine on all day again. But look out after sundown when the temperatures drop and emboldened invasion forces strike at 30% of the island. 3 more lineup submissions for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. Up first, the Syndicate forces of Eviction Noticed assail the Marauders of Nirvana for control of the master fishing port town of Reekwater. Eviction Noticed forces seek to extend their empire, assaulting their neighbors along the southeastern coast of the island to secure a stable food source prior to the winter. Nirvana forces have been spending less and less time out in their secret fishing spots and more time familiarizing themselves with the strategies of their competitors. Then, the Marauders of High Wind Dragoons assault the Covenant forces of Tropical X for control of the rain-drenched region of Morningdale. High Wind's Dragoons making a name for themselves across the island, showing up in the Marauder rotation more and more often, this time in the northernmost region of Morningdale. But the forces of Tropical X are no pushovers when it comes to defending one of their most sacred of holy lands. Abutting the Northern Death Wall, they'll fight to the end, for it all. Later, the Zealots of Hirby Nori attack the Marauders of Nori Dodgers for Crown and Kingdom of the Western Monarch's Bluff. The not-so-newcomers of Hirby Nori march up to the bluff and declare themselves to be the latest heir apparent to the throne, once again donning a store-bought crown. The defenses of Nori Dodgers are standing by to fight out at the fort, but will there be a peaceful negotiation in the newly anointed throne room instead? We'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night, as all 3 great houses hold out and retain control of their respective regions. KOTT news crews were on the scene throughout the night, starting in Reekwater, where we spoke with a Nirvana spokesperson about the outcome. I wanted to congratulate you on your victory out here in Reekwater, once again maintaining control of the master fishing port town. How do you feel it went out there?
Once again, it was a great war. I think what we really, what we did today, we banded together to protect the fishing village that is Reekwater. And the Purples, they put up the fight, but I think the issue is that they didn't have enough swag, John. I just don't think they had it in them.
Yeah, this island has a surprisingly lacking amount of drip. It definitely needs to improve.
That's what I'm saying, John. But if they come back better dressed, I think they'll be formidable opponents.
Well, my friend, is there anybody whose efforts out there tonight you wanted to highlight by chance?
Kiefer, also otherwise known as Croston, he did great tonight. Him and his bald head performed crazily well, and we're looking forward to keeping him on our roster.
Later at the bluff, a Dodgers representative spoke to us after their close fight on the beach. Congratulations once again on your victory out here on Monarch's Bluff, a tight one inside the gate with one final push in the final minute and a half that looked like, spawn wave notwithstanding, could have worked, but did not. How do you feel it went out there?
I think it was a very hard-fought defense. I would say that, aside from the time that we fought Trapchat and Tren for Monarch's Bluff, that was definitely the hardest defense that I've ever been in. Spilbro does an amazing job shot calling. And, there's just overall, HBM is really fun to war against. We're looking forward to a pre-Turkey Day war against them. Coming up on a Wednesday night in Everfall with us on attack this time, but just overall, they always do a really amazing job.
Gonna take it to the heavyweight champions on their home turf, huh?
Uh-huh. Indeed we are.
Have you been doing your road work out here on the beaches?
Yeah, if you've ever seen that movie Rocky, that's kind of where I like to think that we are at. And I'm not talking like Rocky 5 or anything like that, but just prime time quality Rocky 4. Spilbro is basically just kind of this like Soviet dude. And we're basically Rocky. We're just some people from Philadelphia trying to, climb up some stairs, trying to get back in the ring, so to speak. And, at the end of the day, we want to quit this game kind of in the position of, Creed 3 Rocky, where he's really old and training Michael B. Jordan. But just as a company, that's where we're really looking to go. And where we see ourselves right now is Rocky 4 Rocky. And, Spilbro is just that 4,000 PSI Soviet heavyweight puncher. And we're going to do everything we can to beat him on his home turf in Moscow or in Everfall. Adrian!
Quickly to the weather, and it's going to be another beautiful morning all day long. But once again after sundown, corrupted invasion forces will rise up throughout 30% of the island. Another submission for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. Tonight, the Covenant forces of Daddy Chill attack the Marauders of JChalant Dodgers. What? For control of the bear-infested deep forests of Brightwood. Daddy Chill returned to the woods after taking a month to reconsider their strategies, but will their tactics involve using the Great Hen Turkalon as a distraction? It appears that the collective forces of the Dodgers may be attempting to dodge any ongoing investigation by this humble war correspondent. But what could their secret be? We'll have the outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night as the Marauders managed to dodge death outside the keep walls. KOTT News caught up with company leadership after the payouts. Congratulations on your victory here in Brightwood tonight. How do you feel it went out there?
I'm not gonna be nice like everyone is a farm war, straight up. But it's good effort for them. Trying out. So I think it's always good for a company to try out for wars, whether they're strong or weak. The more they try, the better they will get.
That's true. Practice makes perfect, right? So tomorrow night, going up against the champs, the heavyweight champions of Eternum and Everfall, how do you like your chances there?
HBN is definitely one of the strongest enemies on this server for us. They're very respectable, so we'll try our best. Whether we take it or not, I think it's going to be a fun war.
Indeed, I agree. I look forward to seeing it. Turkalon continues to advance into the forest here just south of town. What steps and measures have you taken to prevent the beast from getting in the town gates?
And we're all about animal freedom, okay? They can do whatever they want. Whatever they want to go, even if they want to enter the town, that's fine. We're all about the Thanksgiving celebration,
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to stop and talk to me. Thank you so very much. Is there anything you might like to say while you've got this moment?
Just special thanks to Ben for building the roster and Hibby for calling the war, and of course everyone that helps the war. So just give them credit and give all of our members credit. You guys are amazing as always.
Checking in on the one-day Doppler radar forecast, and it's going to be a sunny day well into afternoon. But look out once again after sunset when colliding fronts will give rise to a 30% chance of invasion. 3 lineups submitted for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. Additional consideration provided by the Craft Services crew. The generous contributions of viewers like you really do help out the channel. Thank you. Opening with a bang, the Marauders of JC Dodgers challenged the champs of Here Be Monsters for their heavyweight title and the right to rule over Everfall. In the green corner, hailing from the bear-infested deep forests of Brightwood to the north, where they have been doing montage training with said bears, come the challengers, JC Dodgers. In the yellow corner, surrounded and isolated from the rest of the island, an island unto the island, if you will, the current reigning heavyweight champions of Eternum, Here Be Monsters. Later, the Marauders of CB4 assail the syndicate forces of Eviction Posted for control of the hardly controllable Restless Shore. Gusto and the boys head out to one of their favorite concert venues, where the salty sea mist of the ocean crashing against the rocks inspired their #1 smash hit. But Eviction Posted just got the Arcane Repository up to level 5, and the syndicate citizens of Restless Shore didn't put in all that effort to give it away to a Marauder rap party. After that, the syndicate forces of 19-0 attack the Covenant forces of Here Be Monsters for control of the arid desert region of Brimstone Sands. The official name listed in the LARPCO Historical Archive is 19-0. However, their official historical record now stands at 0-1. But they can create their own history with a win here tonight. The forces of Here Be Monsters will be regrouping after their title bout earlier in the evening, but they won't come out unfocused, and woe be unto 19-0 if they come out angry. Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night, as all three great houses hold court and retain their respective regions. Barely. The champs managed to hold out on Bravo and win the decision. We spoke with company leadership after the fight. Well, my friend, congratulations on your victory here in Everfall, holding the hamlet once again against one of the island's stronger foes. How do you feel it went out there?
Oh, it went well. It went very well. We were definitely nervous at first, but we were able to... They got us down to 1 point, but we were able to hold it at the end, so very happy.
Anybody whose efforts out there you might want to highlight tonight?
Definitely. Want to thank the 5-man squad that we got, and Respect, of course, but... Day Dome Piece, Pylon, PR Shang, and plenty of countless others that I probably forgot the names of, but I don't want to name too many specifics at this point, but everybody did very well, so very happy.
I understand that there's been a change in leadership here in Here Be Monsters. Would you care to comment on that?
Yes, our leader for a long time, Buchamma, has decided to take a long-needed and much-deserved break from the game. I will be assuming governorship, so looking forward to the added responsibility, and looking forward to keeping up with these wars. As I'm sure you're aware, there's been some recent transfers to the server, and competition's definitely going to pick up, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Local musicians celebrate a nail-biter in Restless Shore as the Syndicate forces maintain control of the inner flag for the entire second half. KOTT News caught up with Syndicate leadership after payouts to discuss the fight. Good job in the war tonight, calling it. I heard it's a great game. I watched it on the video through Ace here. You know, they kind of got in the gate, but you guys held it up still, so congratulations. How do you feel it went out there?
I feel like it went really well. We had a little bit of miscommunication on that C point, maybe a little bit out of the comm on my part, but overall, our army did really good. It's such a good result for us. It's really going to help our bond and cohesion together as a country.
Well, as I said, I watched it as it was happening. I think you did pretty good on that calling there. Is there anybody out there who followed instructions particularly well tonight?
Oh, all groups, all of our groups did really well. I called them back to rotation to get those that Zerg going, and we just steamrolled when we had the chance.
In Brimstone Sands, the forces of 19-0 got inside the gates of the Desert Keep, but no farther, as Here Be Monster's leadership recounted. Congratulations on your victory out here in Brimstone Sands, holding the desert yet again. However, the forces of now 19-2 were able to get through the gates. Would you care to comment on how you saw it going?
Yep, we held them at point phase for about, I want to say 15 minutes, a little bit more than that. It was a really good fight outside. They managed to muscle us off point with about halfway through the war to go. They actually almost won immediately in the fort phase. They caught us on a really bad respawn, and that definitely brought it up to a 10 out of 10 pucker factor, but we pulled it together and won in fort phase.
Well, congratulations again. Was there anybody out there who outperformed themselves tonight you might want to highlight?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Defnot Ben and the other Dodgers that came and joined us tonight. It's really awesome to see familiar faces that we normally see on the other side of the battlefield, and obviously everybody in HBM did an awesome job tonight.
Do you have any big plans for the next couple days? I know tomorrow's a traditional holiday here in the West Coast server area.
We are observing Turkey Day, so if anybody has any turkey, you're welcome to bring it to Brimstone Sands and have it with some sun-dried tomatoes on the beach. It'll be nice. We're proud to announce as well that there's probably going to be no war over the Turkey Day weekend, so hopefully there's going to be some peace.
Looking at the weather, and the sun should shine on all day long, giving ample opportunity to murky them turkeys. But after sunset, be on the lookout for the traditional polar pattern in Cutlass Keys and Brightwood. No submissions for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, but we'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News. Hello, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. And this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night as the Great Houses enjoyed a night of peace. KOTT News crews took the opportunity to investigate the Great Pyramid west of Corsica. The entrance to the giant crypt was well guarded, but nothing too difficult for this battle-hardened reporter. The climb to the top of the structure was filled with fascinating sights and vast treasures. Completing the investigation was easy, but you'll have to tune in at 11 for the shocking revelation that this reporter foreshadowed in an interview over 1 year ago. Last night's invasion forces were able to breach the Brightwood defenses, so be sure to swing by the mission boards to check repairs. Looking at tonight's weather, and all that peace yesterday has led to a disturbance in the flow of corruption. So invasion forces will be out in full force tonight as they rise up across 40% of the island. A fresh submission for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPCO. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it is cardboard. Tonight, the Syndicate forces of Darkness Binds Them assault the Marauders of Camelot Dodgers for control of the bamboo forest preserves and medicinal hot springs of Ebonscale. The newcomers of Darkness Binds Them are no fools, making their first move for the resort destination, now serving as gateway to the desert region to the north. But the Marauders of Camelot Dodgers have held the region for over a month as factional powerhouses jockeyed for position around them. They've had plenty of practice defending the keep. Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.